I'm currently in Fez, Morocco, which is quite a confusing city, and one in which we very nearly got scammed by a very popular trick I'd never heard of when in London.
No, this way, this way.
That way?
That's it.
Oh no, thank you. That man knew exactly where my hotel was. That's crazy. This way to the hotel. Like, how's he know where my hotel is?
What surprised me is that this scam seems to happen all the time, and what makes it so hard for police to stop is baked into the way that Fez is designed.
You see, Fez has over 9,000 twisting and turning narrow alleyways through the city. Some are enclosed from above by balconies and lattices full of foliage to keep out the heat, and others take you deep into the bustling Medina and old markets. In fact, this old Medina is one of the largest car-free zones in the world. You'll be bumping shoulders with pedestrians, carts, bikes, and sometimes even mules. But if you don't know what you're doing, or you're just following Google Maps uncompetently, you can find yourself lost quite easily on one of the city's many dead-end streets. So we're currently exploring the old Medina in Fez, walking to a massive tannery where they produce leather. But to get there, you have to walk through many of the winding streets of the city. But one of the interesting things that I learned during today that blows my mind has to do with these street signs, because it's so easy to get lost on these streets unless you know the one thing to look for. The trick to making sure you're going the right way hides in the shape of the street signs. So you've got hexagons and you've got squares, and the difference between them is actually quite big. If your street name is printed on a square, that street will carry on. It's not a dead end, whereas the hexagons, maybe don't go down there, especially if someone tries to convince you to. But even if you know this, showing any sort of confusion can get you quickly targeted by one of the city's many scammers. I've lived in London for 13 years, and London is notoriously full of people that might be trying to take your money in some way, shape, or form. A popular trick in London is someone handing you a rose, and as soon as you touch it with your hands, they go, "Hey, give me the money." Now, in Fez, the scams here are a little bit more different, so much so that they nearly caught me out. So our first night in the city, we were walking through, and we got to this junction of a really small street we were on, and we needed to turn left onto another narrow alleyway. But there was a couple in front of us, so I paused at that little junction. However, at that moment, I noticed that there was a young man sitting nearby who just happened to stand up. And I went, "Oh, that's not a good sign." So I immediately turned down the alley we were supposed to go and continued on. However, he started talking to me and saying, "Hey, no, it's too late. The gate's closed this late at night." And I was like, "Wait, what?" He was like, "Yeah, this way is closed. The gate is closed. It's too late." And at this point, I'm like, maybe I didn't notice the street sign was like not a rectangle, it was a hexagon. And also, there's so many big walls in this city. Who knows? Maybe the gates are closed. This guy's just trying to help me. And he kept saying like, "Oh, well, do you speak any English? Like, where are you from?" And I was like, "Wait." He's like, "Oh, you trying to get to your hostel? I can help you." But at this point, I realized, wait a minute. It wasn't like this man said that to me and the couple in front of me, who at this point had completely ignored what was going on. He did it after I paused to let them through and look at my phone. So I immediately was like, "Actually, I think I'm fine." And he was like, no, I want to help you." And I was like, "Nah, I think I'm fine here." We carried on. There was no gate. There was nothing closed at all. We were absolutely fine. This is a very popular scam in the area called the tannery scam, as Fez has a leather tannery that a lot of tourists want to go to. And in fact, in the daytime, as we've been walking through the Medina, no less than 5 times have we had different young men come up to us saying, "Oh, tannery's this way." This way.
My friend.
"Oh, it's good. It's a hotel, thank you." "My friend, this way to city center." Oh, so at this point, he is going to help you. It's just he's going to ask for pay at the end.
No, this way, this way.
That way?
That's it.
Oh no, thank you.
Which name to the place so looking?
Oh, it's all right. We already went to the Medina, thank you. It's all right, we're there. Tannery's not that way, not at all. The trick involves them basically getting you to go the wrong way, get confused. They guide you to either a shop in which they then pressure you to give you their money for some type of item or for guiding you, or basically it's like my friend Kim called it a delayed mugging more than a scam.
Sadly, this is quite a widespread issue in Fez and also in Marrakesh. Scrolling through the travel subreddit, as well as the Morocco one, will lead you to many stories of tourists being scammed or feeling harassed in some way. One of the weirdest things I noticed when we were driving throughout the country of Morocco was just how strong the police presence was on pretty much every country road. There were speed traps everywhere. And sure, it might be easier for the cops to catch drivers breaking the law and then charge them fines compared to catching the criminals within these labyrinthian Medinas. The extortion these scammers enact on tourists is very much illegal in Morocco, but the thing is, that's not how the scam starts. Saying, "This way to Medina," or "Hotel this way," isn't exactly breaking any law, even if it does inevitably end with the tourist having a delayed mugging. The cops can't really prove that's where they were going. Maybe this was just a helpful person. This is what makes it such a difficult issue to police. From my research, the only times I can see Moroccan police arresting these criminals is when a video goes viral of a tourist getting scammed by some of these fake guides.
I posted a video about a man with his daughter who pretended to be hospitable and said he was walking the same direction as me and showed me around for an hour, but at the end demanded 40 euros and for me to go to the ATM. This video really blew up across social media and eventually caught the attention of Moroccan authorities. So the authorities tracked that man down. Based on this 2-second clip of his face from my video, the police arrested that man and he's now facing prosecution for fraud, extortion, and being a fake guide, because you need to have a government.
Alongside hiding plainclothes police officers in some tourist spaces, the main strategy the police put in place to prevent this involves licensed guides. Official guides must be licensed, badged, and approved by authorities. And in theory, this sounds like a much easier way to spot a random person taking a tourist around if he doesn't have a badge on him, but in a city as dense and labyrinthian as Fez, it's still an uphill battle. And it's such a shame because Morocco is truly such a beautiful country with so much to see beyond the standard tourist hotspots. And truth be told, the one time we literally nearly got caught out there was the one time we were actually exploring without our licensed guide. Our guide Addi took us to explore the beaches of Casablanca with its iconic mosque, the ancient Roman ruins of Volubilis, still standing there today, city after city after city in Morocco, and he gave us some experiences exploring the Sahara Desert that I don't think I will ever forget. What made this feel so different is that Addi wasn't just taking us from one tourist stop to the next. He comes from a Berber tribe himself, so a lot of what he showed us wasn't just the tourist sites, it was his culture. It meant the trip felt far less like we were just being shown a version of Morocco made for tourists or just being taken to the places where the drivers get the biggest kickback. Instead, it was more like we were getting to experience something real, which is getting more rare when traveling these days. And after nearly getting scammed in Fez, this sort of thing matters even more, because the difference between someone earnestly showing you their culture and guiding you genuinely, and someone, taking you around to other places with ulterior motives in mind, can be a lot harder to spot in a place you're unfamiliar with. And I am concerned that this video might come off like don't visit Fez, which I don't want it to be, because Fez is one of the most fascinatingly designed cities I've ever gotten the chance to visit. It's just a bit rough inside the edges, like many cities. Hopefully at some point I finally get around to uploading the rest of my travels in Morocco on my travel channel, as there was so much more I really wanted to share. I even found a fresh stroopwafel from a Dutch immigrant while I was out in Marrakesh. It was excellent.
Incredible.
But if you do get the chance to visit Morocco or you're looking for some advice, I'll leave a link to our guide Addi in the description, as I'm sure he'd be happy to help you out. And if you want to know where you can find my next video, it's this way. Thanks for watching.
Stole it. It's Donkey Kong, Heather. Come on.